So, in the last class, we have discussed about the negative result of Michelson-Morley experiment. What was that negative result? Michelson and Morley were expecting the shift in the position of the fringes due to path difference between the two waves reaching that telescope. They were expecting the shift in the fringes is about 0.4 wavelength, but they could not get any measurable shift in the position of the fringes. That means, according to this, it is impossible to measure relative speed between Earth and ether. And this negative result has two significance. So, the first significance is the negative result of Michelson-Morley experiment renders untenable ether hypothesis and demonstrate ether don't have measurable properties. Untenable ether hypothesis. So in the beginning I told that ether is present everywhere in the universe. Light takes the support of that ether. So, Michelson-Morley experiment could not detect the existence of the ether. Then, second significance is light moves with the same speed in free space irrespective of the motion of the observer and the source. So always it moves with 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second in free space. Whatever may be the state of position of the observer or the state of position of the source. These are the two negative significance of the negative result of Michelson-Morley experiment. This led Einstein to re-examine his fundamental laws of mechanics and propose his new theory of relativity, which explains Michelson-Morley experiment satisfactorily. So in 1905, Einstein came with a revolutionary concept that the phenomenon of absolute motion is meaningless. Only relative motion has got some significance. That means it is impossible to, by any physical measurement, to designate an inertial system as intrinsically rest or in motion. According to Einstein, then measurement of absolute measurements of space, time and mass is meaningless. Absolute measurement of this space, time and mass is meaningless. Then his theory on electrodynamics for a moving bodies based on two main concepts. His theory of electrodynamics on moving bodies based on two main assumptions. That is, first assumption is two frames of reference moving with uniform relative speed are dynamically equivalent. Two frames of reference, they are moving with uniform relative speed or dynamically equivalent. The laws of physics in two frames of reference is same. Both assumes the same form of equations. Then second postulate is the velocity of the light in free space is always constant and it is not depending on the state of motion of the observer or the state of motion of the source. That means the speed of the light in free space is invariant. That means what? Absolute concept and relative concept. See, if your statement is a car moving with 60 km per hour, don't have any meaning, it is meaningless. But with respect to whom that car is moving with 60 km per hour is important. That means altogether, absolute measurement is not at all important, it is a meaningless. But what is significance? The relative motion between two bodies is important. Then it was H.A. Lorentz who has first realized that Michelson-Morley experiment requires two frames of reference moving with uniform relative speed measures different time. Two frames of reference moving with uniform relative speed measures different time. Therefore, we have to think about the rule, how the equations transform from one frame of reference to another frame of reference. That means we have to find the rule for the transformation of time and spatial coordinates. Transformation of times and spatial coordinates, that is means t, x, y, z. That we did in Galilean transformation. In the frames of reference chapter, we have obtained some set of equations which transforms from one frame of reference to another frame of reference. Here also, based on these two postulates, we have to find out the transformation equation. The first person who has tried is H.A. Lorentz. These equations are called as Lorentz coordinate transformation equations. In the examination, they will ask this as a 10-mark question. That means the Lorentz coordinate transformation equations derived will be asked as a 10-mark question in the examination. Now to derive Lorentz transformation equations, consider two inertial frames of reference S and S dash. Two inertial frames of reference S and S dash having orthogonal coordinates x, y, z and x dash, y dash, z dash. X, y, z and x dash, y dash, z dash be the orthogonal coordinates of two frames of reference S and S dash, and let T and T dash be the time measured in two frames of reference S and S dash. Let this frames of reference S dash moving with uniform relative speed v with respect to S along positive of x direction. This S dash is moving along the positive of x direction, means x and x dash coincides. Let at time t is equal to t dash is equal to 0, both the origins coincides, means origins of frame S and S dash coincides. Then a source of light is placed at O, then spherical wavefront starts moving. You know that wavefront spreads in all directions. So after time t seconds, the wavefront reaches the point P having the radius c t. Distance is equal to velocity into time it is. That means radius of the wavefront which has reached the point P is c into t. The equation of wavefront for this is given by x square plus y square plus z square is equal to ct square. C square t square. Call this equation as 1. So your r is nothing but c into t. Then the wavefront from S dash frame also travels. It reaches the distance p. For an S dash frame, the equation of wavefront is given by x dash square plus y dash square plus z dash square is equal to, velocity of the light is same, c square t dash square. Call this equation as 2. Now our problem is to find out a transformation equation. That means equation 1 has to transform into equation 2. In other words, the equations connecting the relation between S and S dash. Now, see, you observe this equation 1, x square plus y square plus z square minus c square t square is 0. X dash square plus y dash square plus z dash square minus c square t dash square is 0. So two equations are equal. Therefore, we can write this is x square plus y square plus z square minus c square t square should be equal to x dash square plus y dash square plus z dash square minus c square t dash square. Call this equation as 3. Now this s dash frame is moving only along with the x axis. Only x coordinate changes. Y coordinates and z coordinates does not change, because I have told that earlier. S dash frame is moving with uniform velocity v along the positive x axis. It is not moving along y axis, or it is not moving along z axis. Therefore, you can write this as y is equal to y dash, z is equal to z dash. If you write this y is equal to y dash, if you write this y is equal to y dash and z is equal to z dash, this y square, z square, y dash square, z square term gets cancelled. Therefore, the equation 3 can be written as, now your x square, these two cancels, minus c square t square is equal to what? X dash square minus c square t dash square. Call this equation as 4. Now the motion of s dash frame is only along x axis. Therefore, so y is equal to y dash, z is equal to z dash. You can write the above equation x square minus c square t square is equal to x dash square minus c square t dash square. Call this equation as 4. Taking Galilean transformation equation as a guide, that means equations which are studied in frames of reference chapter, and assuming the equations are linear, we have in one frame of reference x dash is equal to some constant k into x minus vt. Call this equation as 5. And x is equal to k dash x plus x dash plus v t dash. Call this equation as 6. Equation 6 is the inverse equation of 5. It is minus vt. This one is plus vt dash. Then substituting the value of x dash from equation 5 in equation 6 and rearranging the terms, we have t dash is equal to k into t minus x by v into 1 minus 1 upon k dash. I have said that substituting the value of x dash from equation 5 in equation 6 and rearranging, you have to simplify it at home. Rearranging the term, you will get what is this t dash is equal to k into t1 minus x by v into 1 minus k 1 minus 1 upon k dash. Call this equation as 7. Now substituting the value of x dash and t dash in equation 4. That means here equation 4 is x square minus c square t square is equal to x dash square. This is k x minus vt, its square, x dash square minus c square into t dash square. T dash is k t minus x by v, x by v into 1 minus 1 upon k dash whole square, c square t dash square. Now rearranging these terms, this is x square minus c square t square, then this is equal to k square a minus b whole square into x square minus 2ab x vt plus b square, that is v square t square minus c square inside the bracket k square a minus b, this is plus, inside the bracket it is t square minus 2xt upon v into 1 minus 1 upon k dash a square minus 2ab, then plus b square. B square is, this is x square by v square into 1 minus 1 upon k dash, this is whole square, and you rearrange the terms. This is x square minus c square t square. You take this term other side minus k square into x square minus 2x vt plus v square t square, then this becomes plus c square into k square t square minus 2x t upon v t square 2x upon v into 1 minus 1 upon k dash plus x square by v square into 1 minus 1 upon k dash whole square. This equal to 0. So take on the term on the other side. Call this equation as it. The identity requires that in that equation coefficient of t square xt and x square must vanish separately. In that coefficient of x square, xt and x square must vanish separately. Then what is the coefficient of t square? Find out the coefficient of t square. Coefficient of t square is minus c square this is minus c square and this is t square v square k square. That means minus k square minus k square v square then coefficient of t square here. This is plus c square k square plus c square k square. The coefficient of t square here, this is c square k square. This should be equal to 0, vanish separately. After simplifying, you are going to get this k as 1 upon square root of 1 minus v square by c square. You simplify this. Call this equation as 9. Then next consider coefficient of xt. Now this is minus 2x vt minus of this minus becomes plus 2 v k square. See that this is 2 v k square is plus. Then next xt, where is next xt? Here this is next xt. Coefficient of this is minus 2 by v c square k square into this term minus this 2 c square k square 2c square k square divided by v into 1 minus 1 upon k dash should be equal to 0. Then after simplifying and substitute wherever the value of k is there, this equation, you will going to get this k dash as also 1 upon square root of 1 minus v square upon c square. Call this equation as 10. Now what I did is, so I equated this equation k dash is equal to what? Then in place of k, I have substituted this equation. I got that 1 upon square root of 1 minus v square by c square. You try this at home. Then substituting these values in equation 5 and 7, equation 5, this is x dash is equal to x minus vt divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. This is one equation. Then you know that what is y dash? Y dash is equal to y, then z dash is equal to z. Then you are to write what is t dash is equal to. So once again in equation 7, you substitute the value of k and k dash and simplify, you are going to get it is t minus vx upon c square divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. So t dash is equal to, I have substituted in equation 5 and in equation 7. T dash is equal to t minus vx upon c square divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. You call these equations as 11. So equation 11 gives the set of Lorentz transformation equations. Then inverse of these equations can be obtained by changing the coordinates, and wherever v is there plus v, and replace it by minus v. So let us write that what are those equations. So x is equal to x dash, this is minus vt, it is plus vt dash divided by square root of 1 minus v square upon c square. Of course, this is y is equal to y dash, then z is equal to z dash, and this one t is equal to what are you going to get? This is t dash, this is t dash plus vx dash upon c square whole divided by square root of 1 minus v square by c square. Call these set of equations as 12. These are Lorentz transformation equations and they are inverse of Lorentz transformation equations. If they ask it as a 10 marks question, you have to write up to this one.